Hi! Thanks for clicking on this video. Today, I'm diving into things I've learned while currently pursuing an art career in my 20s. I'll be sharing some personal insights and life lessons I've picked up along the way, including things I wish I'd known earlier. This is all just my experience. We all have unique paths and different ways of approaching our art and life in general, so don't take everything I say seriously, and remember, there's no single roadmap for any of this, so feel free to just take what resonates and adapt it to your own path, or just be here for entertainment. Let me introduce myself real quick. My name is Veeny. Hi, I'm an artist living in Austin, Texas. I'm 26 years old, and since February of this year, I quit my job to try to pursue an art career full-time. This year, I got my first public art commission. Yay! If you want to check it out on my channel, it's the one where I designed a bus. And then I also got my first artist residency, made a couple videos in my channel, and I got my first artist grant, which I also have a video in my channel. I also film printmaking and crafty vlogs in my studio. So I know that was like a big intro, but if you want to keep up with my journey, please subscribe. And now let's get back to my script. Let's do it. I want to start this talk with, I guess, like the question that some people or just some artists debate about, like, when do you get to self-proclaim that you're an artist? And at this point in my life, I think that if you make art, then you're an artist. It's a simple answer. I can put like so much more of my brain power to really thinking about something else than that, but I'm just gonna say if you make art, you're an artist. What I want to add to that though is the reality that we all get different levels of access to resources. And I know that sounds boring, but like let me just tell you what I mean. I mean like resources like going to a public university, for example, my alma mater, the University of Texas, San Antonio, or a private institution, for example, SCAD, RISD, all of the shiny art schools to study art. The two categories though are still like different from each other, like public university versus private institution. But that's not what this video is about. Let's continue. Going to either one of those equips you with a studio space, access to professors, and other perks that's only available to students, like facilities with high-tech computers and fabricating equipment, which is why it's expensive to go there. But you know what? I think that you don't need to go to art school. I mean, I did, but I'm saying that some of the things I learned that are really important, I learned it after I graduated. I know some artists in real life that also didn't go to a fancy private art school, and they're doing well and they're making money from their art practice. And I'm not trying to dissuade or persuade you to go to art school or not, but I think that you can learn a lot of things through the internet and in real life, basically, by looking at the resources available to you in your own city, where there's local galleries, museums, and nonprofits whose mission is to help artists. So I hope that's available to you, some kind of it, where you live, because that's real life experience and connections that you can tap into. And I wish that I'd known about this like since I wasn't a student, but now I do, because I only got started on this stuff like right after I graduated. I feel like I was in such a bubble that I didn't like build my community outside of school. So all of the things available in your city, definitely look into that. It'll really help you with your art practice, I think. The second subtopic I wanted to discuss is it's really up to you how you want to pursue the artist path, whether it's part-time or full-time. And there's no shame in either way. You can totally work a different job and go home to make art. I have friends in real life that have a 9-to-5 related to art and design or art management, and they still make art. And some of them still show at galleries. Some of them show their art and sell at vendor markets. I mean, it may not be all the time, but they still do. But even if you don't want to do that stuff, that's totally fine. You can work your job, you can go home, make your art, and that's totally okay. And this leads me to my next subtopic, which is social media. You only really know someone, like if you're not super close, by what they post and how much art they share. So you only get to see a very curated version of someone else's art practice. Like for example, me. Hold on, let me get a sip of my coffee because I'm like running dry. So refreshing. Okay. So I post when I accomplish something that I'm proud of and I want to share. Like I mentioned earlier, showing my art or like doing a pop-up at a vendor market, I post those pictures. So it's all the grand stuff, like that's what you're seeing. Creative projects and a specifically curated timeline of how I want prospective clients and art directors and curators to see. Like it's not realistic at all, like I'm gonna admit that. It's not really for my friends, it's not really for my family, it's what I just said. I don't post my lunch and dinner. I don't post shower thoughts. I don't post when I had a bad day. For the most part, I post stories after I already went home. Sometimes even a day later. Personally, like, it's kind of hard to get sucked in it. Yeah, so like just a little ramble. I try not to scroll and I just try to be picky about the posts I see. And if I check on my friends, I actually like will type their profile and see if they have like new stories or new posts, because it's just so hard to sift through all of it, on the feed. And I could make another account, but then that would add to my plate, so I haven't done it. It's really overwhelming. It's 2024. But tying that back to the main topic of social media related to art, TLDR, I can't compare myself to someone whose timeline is curated to have all the best moments of their art practice, because I don't know them. And I am still guilty, honestly, of falling into that like comparison trap, which is why like I'm trying to not scroll and be picky when it comes to like my Instagram and social media experience. Number 4, or my next subtopic, I haven't really been super organized, y'all, sorry. I want to end it on a good note, and I want to just say happiness is for artists too. Lately, I find myself inspired by my friends who are living happy lives as part-time artists. I'm 3 years post-undergrad, and I'm starting to see what a happy and fulfilling life can be for me with my art. Like only a few years ago, I thought I can only be an artist under certain conditions. But you know what? After like living a little more and working a little more and making some art, I feel like I've changed. I actually don't mind the thought of becoming a part-time artist sometime in the future. Happiness and success is however you want to define it, and I don't want someone else's goals. And I know due to social media, I guess I get distracted sometimes by the shiny things, and I have to remind myself that I am in my own lane and to focus on my own goals and my own happiness. And what is success for me may be different to another artist's version of success. And pretty much that's the end of my script. I hope that was entertaining to listen to, and I really appreciate you being here and spending time with me. Please tell me what you resonated with in the comments, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. I really appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you next time. Bye!